This is the future of working. We see a lot of new thoughts, new ideas, and also a lot of companies trying to find their way in this hybrid setup.
Some companies might say, well, most of our employees are at home, but they're coming into office a few days a week. Or we might have the companies where, or departments within a company where most are in the office.
The office itself, in the infrastructure and the equipment and such, needs to support the way you're going to work that day when you're going to the office. Hi and welcome to this webinar called Workspace Has Landed. My name is Anna, I'm the Commercial Product Director here at Pronestor, and I have brought up Thornd with me today.
Yeah, my name is Kasper Julitz. I'm the product owner or the overall product responsible and also the visionary guy, so looking into this whole new future of the future workplace.
Yes, and first of all, I think we'd like to say that we're really happy and excited to be standing here today, and we really look forward to presenting the new workspace solution to you. First of all, for practicalities, I would like to say that this webinar will be recorded. If you have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to post them in the chat and we'll look at them at the end of the webinar. Only your first name will appear in the chat, even though you can see your full name yourself. Good, but first of all, exciting news. We're standing here together for the first time. Earlier we've been doing webinars with other colleagues, and we've also been talking a lot about the hybrid work. And just for detail, I would say that today, hybrid work, the definition that we're using today is the ability to work from anywhere. So either being in the office, working from home, or somewhere else. And during these unfortunate lockdowns that we've all had during the past few years, I think the motion of actually starting working hybrid was enforced and catapulted into everybody working from home suddenly. So what we see now is actually that this is the future of working. We see a lot of new thoughts, new ideas, and also a lot of companies trying to find their way in this hybrid setup. Yes.
Yeah, and what we are pitching into the market is a tool that we think that most companies will definitely benefit from. It's all about collaboration and not so much about being office-centric. It's more about being employee-centric, looking into what does the employees need to get their daily work up and running, whether they're working from at home or in the office or the local Starbucks. So it's more about the whole coordination around having the collaboration.
Yes, and I think what we see as well is now that most people and most places you can actually work from wherever you want, maybe in some sense, then this means that now it has shifted into the office actually having a purpose. So going to the office has a purpose, and the office itself in the infrastructure and the equipment and such needs to support the way you're going to work that day when you're going to the office, and just support all the tasks that you're going to solve that day.
And that is completely correct. And what we have started to look into is not just so much about the desk, that you're not just coming into the office to have a desk. You're coming into the office because you have an activity where a desk might be relevant for you. It could also be that you come into the office since that your colleagues is in the office, or the group of people that you're going to work with on a specific task. So again, putting the purpose of coming into the office, give that a meaning and help our customers with a tool to have that coordination option. Exactly.
So, but I think, as we said before, working hybridly is very individual for each company, how they structure it. So how about our solution? You say that's...
Yeah, so our solution definitely fits most of the companies that in this transition, or not just in a transition, it will definitely be a journey for most companies going from one aspect of hybrid working to more and less hybrid, meaning that some companies might say, well, most of our employees are at home, but they're coming into office a few days a week. Or we might have the companies where, or departments within a company where most are in the office. So our tool can benefit from wherever the company might be today, but also on the future journey on how to adapt or how to do more or less one thing over the other.
Yes, and I think, as you say, it's going to adapt and evolve during time, and the same will be for our solution, that this is a very good starting point, but we're going to evolve that solution going as we get more input from the market and customers and such.
And I think I'm so eager to show the solution. Should we dig into it? So
exactly, enough of the talking. Just please show me, so what does it look like?
Yeah, so on the screen you should be able to see my mobile phone. So this is how it looks on my mobile phone, the Pronestor Workspace. Please note that it works beautifully on any mobile device. It will work on your PC, on your Mac, on your tablet. But this presentation will be on your mobile phone, since we do see that this will be the primary tool for accessing Pronestor Workspace. When I open Pronestor Workspace, I will be greeted with, hi Casper, this is your workday today. And it actually shows that I have not planned anything. Sorry about that, Anna. But this is just to indicate how easy it is for me to indicate that I'm coming into the office, and the tool actually helps me locate a desk. And in this scenario, it will be a desk that I usually have, so my favorite desk. So what I merely do is click book a desk, and that's it. Now I have a desk, and my colleagues can see that I have actually chosen to come into the office today, and where I will be located in the office, or my desk is. So super quick for me to indicate my presence on that specific day.
Okay, so now you admitted it yourself, you didn't really plan ahead. And I think that happens. But for a person like me, I like to plan ahead, and I like to just for myself know that I have a desk and my colleagues can see where I'll be working from. So could you just show us how would you go about planning for more than one day or the next day?
Yeah, sure. For that purpose, we have the work week, where I can actually indicate my expected presence in the office or working from at home. And again, it's very simple for me to indicate, well, I'm coming in tomorrow. So it's in office, the desk that I usually have. If for some reason I cannot come into Friday, not for some reason, but I choose to work remotely, I can easily indicate that. So now it's easy for me to give my intention to coming into office or working from at home, and this information will then be visible for my colleagues or my team members, so they can adjust their plans according to mine.
Okay, so this is from the perspective of having one desk, finding a desk, and making sure that when you come into the office, you have a desk, or you can show your colleagues you'll be working remote. But what about the more collaboration perspective, where I might need to make sure that I can sit close to a specific colleague in a few days because we have some tasks that we need to solve together?
Yeah. For that scenario, let's say on Monday, I'm not going to sit where I usually sit. I actually want to find a desk that will take, I want to sit close to a colleague with whom I'm going to do some work with. I can choose Catherine. There we go. And I can look up Catherine, and I can see where Catherine is located, or that she's actually expected to be in the office on that specific day. I can then see the desks around Catherine, and I can say, well, I want to sit just next to Catherine because she and I is going to work on a project that given day, and I just hit book a desk, and that's it. Okay,
so that's the easy way of actually finding the right colleague and making sure you can get a desk next to that colleague in order to work together.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but then let's say I'm going to the office. I might not be that familiar with the office if we've just moved or it's in another location that I'm usually working on. And I want to make sure that going there, I can actually get a desk with the right equipment that I'll be needing to solve my task that day.
Yeah, for that use case, we have sit in a specific area. So now my focus is more, having a view on the whole floor plan of the building that I'm going to sit in. That could be in Copenhagen or London or whatever, where I'm more or less familiar with the office layout. But in this scenario, I can say, well, I want to sit in the corner. I want to sit next to Sebastian, and then choose a desk that is close to Sebastian and close to a meeting room or the escalator or whatever. So it's easy for me to have that look into the office where I might or might not be that familiar with the location.
But I think we also have a filtering option.
Yeah. So to support you on the whole, okay, I'm not sure which of the desks that has the equipment that I need for my task. You can use the filtering. So I need a desk with 2 screens, and I wanted to have in a quiet zone because I'm doing some focus time. Hit show results. Then the map will show that this specific desk in the corner does fulfill those filtering options. So now it's easy for me to actually, through the system, get or find the desk that supports the task that I'm going to do in the best possible way.
Okay, so again, different options to find the perfect desk, either based on equipment, the placement in the building, near to a specific colleague or something like that. But I think, again, there is more to a solution like this than just being able to book a desk. Of course, finding the perfect desk is always nice, but there's a lot more perspective in it.
Yeah.
So I saw you navigating on the floor map. Would all companies need a floor map? I mean, even if you're familiar with the building?
We definitely think that the floor map has some super value in it. First of all, it does show the layout of the office, but it also indicates, through the avatars of your colleagues, who is sitting where and who is who. So in the case that I'm a new employee coming to the office, that I can relate already on forehand on who is who and where they're sitting, makes it easy for me to find the colleagues that I'm going to work with on that specific day. And again, in the other scenario where I might travel to our US office, I want to book on forehand a desk in a specific area and with some specific equipment or requirements. I can then, with the floor map, get the insight on that building before actually turning up. Before
going there. That's very clever. But of course, we think so because we made it. No, but I think it's very good that we get this demonstration of how to book a desk, how to find the right desk and the right colleague and such. But there is, again, more to it than that. I think overview is one of the things that has really been difficult sometimes during this hybrid work setup. And getting a feel of where is my colleague, not just today maybe, or for booking next to him or her. I think the new keywords that we're seeing is collaboration and overview.
Yeah. And for that to work, you need to coordinate. And in that aspect, if I were to work with Catherine next week, I could look up Catherine. And with the information on Catherine, I can actually see how she's intended to come into the office next week or working from at home. So I could schedule in-person meeting with her in the office or schedule a Teams meeting when that is required for the test that we need to do. And again, for Catherine, I can see where she has chosen, indicated that she wants to sit for that day. So I can actually also, if I'm coming in on the same days, I can easily find a desk close to Catherine. Okay, so now we've seen it focused on a desk, focused on one specific colleague. But often if you're in a team or you have people you're collaborating with, I think opening Outlook calendars and navigating through people's bookings between meetings and all the other things you see, I just sometimes get confused and then I give up because I think it's too difficult. Yeah. And for that specific issue, Workspace does come with a great value set as well, because looking through different Outlook calendars and scheduling who is in where and whatever, or you might have an Excel that we see some customers has, we are pitching in with our groups. Groups is a group of people with whom you want to work with. And if you look at my screen, it should come up. There we go. Yes. I have two groups. I have one that is very department focused, and that would be R&D department. This is the department a colleague created, or I can create it myself. And it actually shows by these infographics when most of my colleagues or my team members is in the office. So I can see on Thursday, most of them is actually in, 6 out of 8. So if we were to arrange an in-person meeting, that would be the best day to have that in-person meeting, since most of them are in the office. On Friday, if I were to meet with my colleagues on my group, I would plan a meeting that could work very well online, on Teams, so have that virtually. So it's super easy for me. And again, if I just want to hang out with my colleagues on a Friday, in Friday bar, that could also be a splendid tool to finding out who I want to hang out with. Who will be there for the Friday bar, yes. So that was actually a way of getting an overview of an entire team. Yeah. Does it have to be based on departments or? Yeah, so that's a super good question. It does not have to be on specific departments. If you could share my screen again, then I can show you how it works with, that would be a cross-departmental team group. So now I have a product launch, which involves both people from R&D, marketing, and sales, where I have that group. And that's just a group that I've created. So I have you on that one. So it does not require me to ask my IT manager to create a group, I can create it on the go as I see it being relevant.
Okay, so according to the needs and cross-departmental and everything, you can just create the groups that you need.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So if we should just have a quick summary of the things that we've seen today. I think we'll have a slide in a few seconds. So what you showed us and what we went through was actually how to quick book a desk based on the favorite desk that I had set in the solution. You showed us how we could plan our week and make sure we have, of course, the right desk on the right days and that our colleagues can see where we will be working from. You showed us how we could find a desk and book the right desk next to a colleague if we had to work together on one or more days.
Yep.
We used a filter as well to find the perfect desk with the right equipment. And also booking from the floor map and also the advantages of actually using the floor map for avatars and recognizing colleagues. And then the activities and groups, which would allow me to get a quick overview and ensure the transparency that you need in order to ensure good collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it's super important. Our tool is not desk-centric.
No.
It's employee and collaboration-centric, meaning that I could actually come into the office without booking a desk. It does not require me to book a desk. And that aspect, I think, is super important to create a tool that delivers value except just booking a desk.
Yeah. But if we look at the features you showed us today and the summary we just did, is that all that the solution can do at the moment?
No, we definitely have a lot of other cool features, but these are just the top features that we have seen in the market that have been requested for, and where we with our customers seen that it does definitely, pitch into some requirements that they need to make their office work.
And in all modesty and honesty, I think we could say that being an employee tool and focused around the employee and the collaboration, we might have a different solution than others in the market who might be a bit more focused on the desk itself. Great. But I think we've gone through what we were supposed to see today, or what we wanted to show today. And we have opened up for the questions now. And we have a question here that says, can anyone create a group, or is that something an admin should do?
Yeah. This is something that each user can do, depending on the activities that they have. They can create these groups on the fly or on the go, wherever it makes sense. But of course, we do recommend create groups per department, but let the users create their own groups for those that are cross-departmental
activities
groups. Yeah.
or projects and things like that.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the next question is here. I assume it will be easy to handle a new pandemic restrictions in office spaces, etc. Yes, I guess it will.
Yes.
I mean, that's part of the point.
And the cool thing about now, we're not going into the admin part of Workspace, but the admin has a view on who were in on which days. So in case that we had an outbreak in the office, you can see, well, on that specific day, we had Anna, Philip, and Catherine sit next to each other, and Philip was the guy who got the flu or whatever. Then we can inform the colleagues that we had that scenario. And again, it's easy for the admin to open and close new areas in the office. So there will be a limited number of desks available if you want to have that.
Yes, so as we've done also during the pandemic, we closed and made some desks unavailable in order to ensure that you had enough space between employees and then limiting the risk of people infecting each other.
And again, back to the floor plan, it will give the employee a view on how many people is in the office. So I can say, well, I feel confident coming into the office, feeling safe. And that whole thing is super important that you share that information with employees so they have a control themselves on when they feel safe.
Yeah, good point. Okay, and now we have another question saying, do we need one solution per office building, or can the same solution be used in multiple locations?
Yeah. It can be used for multiple locations. And in a scenario where we could have in Workspace created our Copenhagen office, our London office, and we have different employees associate different locations. But it will still allow me to look up the London location in a specific building and a specific floor. So you have the whole hierarchy of supporting multiple locations within the same city, same country, or in Europe or the US. So it's,
Great. Okay, and the next one is, first of all, great product. Thank you. We think so too. Can you please explain data sovereignty aspect of your solution, i.e. keeping data within your country/jurisdiction?
Yeah, so a bit technical question.
Yeah.
So it's located in a European data center. It's in Amazon. And we are following up on those very important data questions. So it's not been shared with the US by default. And we're looking into a future where it might be more locked down than what it is today, but it's something that we definitely focus on and respecting.
Yes, and I think through all our products and everything we do, IT and data security is just the top number one priority in order to ensure that our customers' data is kept safe.
Yeah.
Good. Great questions. But I think that was the questions for today. And it's been a great demonstration. Thank you. And if any of you would like to maybe have a free trial and try to click around in the solution on your own, please just contact our sales department. As you can see, I'll get the right direction here in the screen, the sales@pronestor.com, and we are more than eager to help you.